Hello students, future doctors and engineers. Welcome to our YouTube channel MedG Exam, the platform where smart work is always preferred over hard work. I am Panza with cream of the theme series in physics, starting with class 12th. We are doing chapter 1, electric charges and fields, and today we will discuss part 7. The topic covered will be applications of Gauss theorem part 1, in which we will find electric field due to a point charge and an infinitely long straight uniformly charged wire. So let us find electric field due to a point charge. For this, let a point charge here is Q, and we have to find electric field intensity at the point P. Let point P is here. It is a distance r. The distance between Q and point P is r. Let us draw a Gaussian surface. Let us draw a Gaussian surface taking r as radius. This Gaussian surface is spherical Gaussian surface. Spherical Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. Spherical Gaussian surface. And if we let a very small area of this area, let this area is ds, area is ds, and it is directed in this, that is normal area vector ds, and we know that the electric field also at this point will be in this direction, in the same direction. Area is also in this direction as well as electric field is also in this direction. Okay. Now if we apply Gauss theorem, applying Gauss theorem, if we apply Gauss theorem, then it will be E dot ds, and integration of that will be equals to Q inside. Q inside is the charge enclosed inside the Gaussian surface and upon epsilon naught. Now we can write this as integration of this, closed integration of this E ds cos theta, and that will be equals to Q inside we know is only Q, so Q upon epsilon naught. Now this theta, see, area vector ds and the electric field E both are in the same direction, so theta will be 0. So we can write E ds cos 0, that will be equals to Q upon epsilon naught, integration of this. As E is constant throughout, because the distance between Q and this spherical Gaussian surface is will remain constant throughout, and also the direction will remain same. ds and E both have same direction, so that, and E is constant, so that we can take E as outside, so it will be ds inside, and cos 0 will be 1. So integration of this ds, that will be equals to Q upon epsilon naught. Now integration of whole integration of this is as a spherical Gaussian surface, so we can apply that the total sphere surface of this sphere, spherical Gaussian surface, total surface area will be 4 pi r square, 4 pi r square. So E 4 pi r square will be equals to Q upon epsilon naught. So from that we can find Q will be, E will be equals to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by r square. So this is the formula. With the help of Gauss theorem, we have expressed the formula for electric field intensity at any point due to a charge, due to a point charge Q. Okay. Now let us find electric field due to an infinitely long, straight, uniformly charged wire. Okay. For that, let us, this is a wire, this is a wire, and it goes infinite in this direction also and in this direction also. And let on this wire, throughout the wire, a positive charge is distributed uniformly, and so that such that the linear charge density is lambda, and let the length of, we have taken this small length of this infinitely long straight uniformly charged wire. We have taken the length, this length as L. Up to this length is L. Okay, so as we know, lambda is what? Lambda equals to Q by L. So here this imply Q will be equals to lambda L. We will use this expression later on. Okay, now there is a point, let this is point P, this is point P, this point is P, where we want to find electric field intensity due to this infinitely long straight uniformly charged wire. For that, and let this distance from here to here, this distance is R. For that, what we do, we draw a Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface. We draw a cylindrical Gaussian surface taking R as radius and L as length, this cylindrical Gaussian surface. This cylindrical Gaussian surface we will draw through the point P, cylindrical Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface. Okay. Now, as we see that here there are three surfaces. One is this, and let the small portion of this, its area vector is in this direction, let it is ds1, area vector ds1, and electric field at this position will be in this direction, E. Okay, angle will be 90 degree. So angle between ds1 and E will be 90 degree. Okay, again another is, let me take this lateral portion, lateral surface area, and if we take a small bit of that, then electric field will be here in this direction, and the area, small area ds2, area vector ds2, that will be also in the same direction. So in this case angle will be 0 degree, and here is again like this, here is again third surface, and in this case the electric field will be in this direction, and let its area vector will be in this direction ds3. Here also angle will be 90 degree. Now what we do for finding the net electric field intensity at point P, we will apply Gauss theorem, and for that we have to find the electric flux through this cylindrical Gaussian surface. Okay, and for that we can write what? Phi E equals to E dot ds1 integration of this plus s1 integration of this plus E dot ds2, okay, plus E dot ds3 integration of this also, and we have to integrate this also, this will be s2 surface integration of this, and that will be equals to q inside upon epsilon naught. Okay, this will be according to Gauss theorem, according to Gauss theorem. Okay, now we know that here angle between E and ds1 is 90 degree, angle between E and ds2 is 0 degree, and angle between E and ds3 is 90 degree. So we will put the value of all that. So phi E will be E ds1 cos 90 degree integration of this s1. Similarly, E ds2 for this cos theta is 0, so cos 0 degree integration of this s2, and again E ds3 cos 90 degree again, and all that will be equals to q inside, that q inside is lambda L. lambda L Q inside upon epsilon naught, that we can write. Phi E will be equals to this, due to cos 90 this portion will be 0, due to cos 0 this will be E ds2 integration of that, and again due to cos 90 this again will be 0, and that will be equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught. For Q we have written lambda L because lambda is the charge density and L is the length, and due to that Q become lambda L upon epsilon naught. Okay, so phi E become phi E equals to E ds2 integration of that, and that will become equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught. Okay, if you take E outside integration sign, then this will be integration of this ds2 equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught. Okay, this integration of this is the lateral surface area, and lateral surface area of a cylinder will be E ds2 will be 2 pi r L, and that will be equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught. So finally from here we can write E equals to lambda L upon 2 pi r L epsilon naught, and this L will go to cancel. So E will be equals to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. This is the final expression of electric field intensity due to a uniformly charged straight infinitely long wire. If you draw the graph, its graph will be the variation of graph between this E and R will be because it is inversely proportional. From this equation we can see, from this formula we can see E is inversely proportional to R, so its graph will be like that. Okay, in the next video we will see another applications of Gauss theorem. So for today we can stop here, and if you want to download the PDF, link has been given in the description box. If you like the video, then like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.